Hey everyone, it's Rebecca from Revenue, and I am super excited to talk to you today about the Longtime Owner Occupants Program. This is an important program that can help you save money on your real estate taxes here in Philadelphia. So we sometimes call this program LOOP. LOOP is a program that is for homeowners who've owned their home for 10 years or more and have experienced a significant increase to their real estate tax assessments. So we're going to talk more about the eligibility of the program, but I want to explain how the program works first. LOOP works by locking in your property assessment at the time that you apply for the program. And we look at two things. So what it means is that we will lock in your property. The assessment cannot go more than 50% from the year before or 75% from the previous 5 years. I know that sounds sort of complicated, but I'll go through some tools that we have to help you do this math and figure it out on your own. So long as you live in your property and you remain within the income limits and you have no deed changes, you will be enrolled in LOOP and you never have to do anything again. You don't have to sign up every year. You'll be in the program. As you probably know, the value of your property is determined by the Office of Property Assessment, or the OPA. Every year, or any year that you've had an assessment change, you should receive a letter in the mail from the OPA that tells you what your new assessment is. We use that number to determine your real estate tax bill. Now, we have a lot of programs to help people when they're surprised by an increase. This one is pretty special. LOOP is pretty special. I'm going to talk about how you know if you are eligible. So we've created a really great calculator, and you should be able to see it on your screen. This is available online at phila.gov/LOOP, phila.gov/loop. And we go through some of the eligibility requirements. Have you lived in your house for 10 years? Does your income meet the thresholds that we list here? And are your property taxes paid in full, or are you in a payment agreement for any previous taxes? The income requirements have increased significantly over the last few years. Okay, now here comes the part where you have to do a little math. We want to know, did your property increase by 50% from last year, or did your property increase 75% over the last 5 years? So the first step is to find your property assessed values. You can do that by going to property.phila.gov. You can search using your OPA number or your address, and you should be able to see the history of those valuations. So you need this year's, the 2023 assessment or the current year's assessments, and then the previous 5 years. So we've made it pretty clear. Like, you'll be able to follow along and enter in the numbers. So we're going to ask you to put in the current year assessment, the previous year's assessment. You do the math and divide them, and if the result is 1.5 or more, you're qualified for LOOP. Now, if you're not qualified for LOOP from year over year, hope is not lost. We still have the opportunity to look at the current year assessment and then look at the lowest assessment in the last 5 years. You're going to do the math again, and if the result is 1.75 or more, you qualify for LOOP. Now, one thing that's kind of complicated is that you can't have LOOP and Homestead at the same time. And also, you need to understand that if you're in LOOP and you opt out of it, you can't get back in. So deciding which program is best for you is an important decision. As you know, Homestead has increased, and what we have done is we've made part of the calculator help you figure out an estimated real estate tax bill. So you'll use some of the math from before, follow the instructions, multiply that number by the real estate tax rate, and boom, you will have an estimated tax bill amount. Then we ask you to do the same thing with your current year assessment, subtract the value of Homestead. That number is what we're going to use to calculate your tax bill, and then you will have an estimated tax bill with Homestead. Now, we can't make the decision for you of what's best for you. You might need to decide if you want to save more now or potentially save more in the future. So that's one of the reasons that we've made this calculator to help you make a more informed decision. Filling out an application is easy. You can do it online at tax-services.phila.gov. You don't need a username and password to use the online system to apply. You can also find paper applications that you can drop off here in person at the Municipal Services Building, or mail them in. Shouldn't take more than 3 to 5 minutes, maybe a little more if you have to look up your OPA number. Again, you can look that up at property.phila.gov. And if you have any questions, you can always call our hotline at 215-686-9200. I know that a lot of this sounds really complicated, but I urge you to visit any community organizations in your neighborhood, any senior centers, or even talk to your block captain, who should be able to help you work through the loop calculator, which you can find at phila.gov/loop. If loop isn't for you, and it's not everyone will qualify, we still have plenty of programs to help reduce the cost of your real estate taxes here in Philadelphia. So if you're a senior, or you need a payment agreement that's going to work with your budget, or want to sign up for Homestead, please reach out to us at 215-686-6442, or visit us online at phila.gov/revenue. We're happy to help. So Loop is a great program. It can help save a lot of money for folks who have seen a significant increase to their real estate tax assessments. But I hope that you take advantage of all the programs that we offer here in Philadelphia. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.